gentlemen, I'm Lina Pham of the 22nd century when digital adventure sparks prosperity and innovations. At this moment, you are gathering at FPT's iconic landmark in the charming capital city of Hanoi, Vietnam, marking the beginning of our digital journey. Now I can see my 21st century version is also here. Please give the warmest welcome to the stage for my co-host, Lina Pham of the 21st century.
Well, thank you so much for your warm welcome, and it is definitely my honor and great pleasure to accompanying you and attending this special event of FPT. So my first question, what change will we see in the future?
We will change the way we communicate. Right now, instead of conducting business in person or online, we will go further into the virtual reality where geographical border does not exist.
So besides virtual reality, what else will we see in the future?
AI, definitely AI. Why? Because AI helps us make decisions faster and more effectively. The future holds unlimited possibilities for us. So maybe in some years, you may come to the virtual world with me to explore the digital innovations. And let me tell you this, equipped with vast knowledge and cutting-edge technologies, let FPT be the first wave guiding you through the sea of digital transformation and start shaping your future today. But for now, I will leave our lovely guest for this conference in your good hand, Lina Pham. And ladies and gentlemen, it has been my great pleasure so far meeting all of you. For now, I will embark on a digital voyage and see you in the future.
Well, thank you so much, Lina Pham of the 22nd century. And now it is me, Lina Pham of the 21st century, and a warm welcome to you all to this technology conference organized by FPT.
Wow.
Thank you.
将来のリナさんって素晴らしいですね。皆さんぜひ大きな拍手をお願いいたします。
So ladies and gentlemen, back to the present. We live in a world and work in a world, an ever-changing world, where digital transformation is no longer something nice to have, but rather a must. And accelerating these transformations introduces new uncertainties, but we can overcome them with the right approaches and with the right companion. And today we would hear from the captain of today's crew, FPT Chairman Dr. Chung Sabing, to shed more light on this.
私たちは常に変化し続ける世代で生活し仕事をしております。デジタルトランスフォーメーションはもはやあったらいいものではなくてなければならないものとなりました。このような変革を加速させることで新たな不確実性をもたらしましたが、正しいアプローチと正しい仲間によってですね、それを克服することができます。さて、興味が湧いてきましたでしょうか。ここで本日の公開の船長である FPT コーポレーションチューンザー便よりお話をお伺いしましょ
う。Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, today I have 3 points to share with you. How we accompany with the future by technology, people, and commitments. First is about accompany the future with technology. 23 years ago, we have ideas to go global. We believe India did it, Chinese did it, and Vietnam should do it. We opened branch in Silicon Valley. We fell. No customers. We opened branch in Bangalore. Again fell. No one contact us. People FPT employee shocked how to get the customers. And certainly, I have now the very good friends and teachers, Nishida from Sumitomo, to tell me to go to Japan. I think Japan is last place we go after America, Europe. But luckily there, the one company, NTT give us first projects for 2 engineers for 1 man month. 1 engineer, 2 weeks. And we start these things. But Japan opens the door to go to our voyage, and then we go to America back, we go to Europe, we go to Southeast Asia. But certainly, about more 10 years ago, we go to flat. We feel sailing. Why we feel sailing? Because when you grow, and you cannot to grow more. Vietnam enters the industries much later than India. And therefore, we have to find a new way to grow. And we found the technologies. We found digital technology. We start to develop cloud. We start to develop data. We start to do IoT. We start AI, etc., etc. And that's really help. We compete differently by innovation, by technology. And that moment actually changed FPT fate. Today, digital technology revenues grow 100% per year. Low code grow 138%. AI grow double. Cloud grow triple per year. And we go further with innovation with our customers around the world. We think together with them. We together with them co-create the innovations. That is the new way of FPT doing. And today we think that every old thing we should add on tax. If in the past we talk about payments, we just talk about payments. But now we talk about payment tax. That means that's another way to do the business with the data. And from data, we develop business platform. And FPT start to build platform for AI, to build platform for infrastructures, to build platform for businesses. We build surrounding solutions to SAP S/4HANA. We build new things to serve our customers. And today we provide those solutions for 1,000 people, companies around the world. We try to think the way how to get our partners have more customers, to satisfy them more, to join their journey, and how to save a cost, how to conduct business more cost efficiencies. We think about paperless, about touchless, about the zero cost transactions. That's the way we grow with company. And in Vietnam, surprisingly, Vietnam has a lot of big corporations. They are so big. They manage real estate, they manage construction, they do retail, they do manufacturing, they do distribution. The big conglomerate. And FPT now try to help them to be strong, to be more competitiveness. And now we accompany a lot of company in Vietnam on that. And in Vietnam, the hottest keyword is digital transformations. Everywhere people talk it. And FPT not only work with enterprises, but also we start to build the digital governments. How the government should leverage all necessary data to again effectively COVID-19. We build also a digital society to build digital economy. And now we work with 46 provinces. I myself try to inspire the leadership for digital transformations. I did the lectures. What's going on and what people should do for about 20,000 officials from the urban size to the province chairman. And we see the technology is key. And we invest now, at that moment, you can see it, we invest much about AI. We dream that one of cities of Vietnam named Quy Nhơn should be turned to AI hub for the world. We built for 1 year universities, AI university there, and now we have students there. We built the AI town, and we try to invite the Mila AI Research Institute, led by one of the godfather of the AI, Yoshio Benjo, to open branch in Quy Nhơn. Maybe that's first branch in Quy Nhơn. And our people now, FPT people, participate in seminar of Yoshio Benjo twice per week from Vietnam. And some students, not graduate yet, have ready published the article together with Yoshio Benjo on System 2. Actually, the system about the causalities, reasoning. And we also develop the blockchain platform. And now we serve, for example, Hanoi for 300,000 sport fans and 3,000 merchants. Very soon time, we also will have the GameFi, NFT games for educations. And we also start to build metaverse because we believe in 2030s, about 1 billion people in the earth believe that we live in metaverse. And matter of transaction is blockchain. Second, we accompany the future with the people. Actually, 64% of IT executives think the biggest problem is shortage of digital skills. That's around the world. And COVID makes things more serious. Turnover rate raised up to 30 to 40 to 50%. And how we should pursue digital transformations. And we FPT should commit to you, we accompany with you on that matter. Why I can make it? Because Vietnam is nearly 100 million people, average age about 32. We have about 300 universities and colleges, training ICTs, and FPT alone, we have 140,000 students. And we provide AI, blockchain, big data, data lakes, new things to our system. We do DeFi, we do GameFi, we do some new things. Vietnam stands actually 10 in the world by engineering educations. That is the core values we leverage. And in FPT, we have 3 education system itself. FPT universities, FPT corporate academy. For decades, every single person in FPT learning. Myself, I'm not learning, but I show my hours by teaching. Because 1 hour of teaching equals 3 hours of learning. I try to save my time. And we try to learn new technology from Udacities, from Coursera, and we have also Phonics. That's 100% online educations. And youngest student, 9 years for ICT, for programming, and oldest man, oldest student, 72. That is the way we go. And we care of people much. Recently, the rate of turnover rate of FPT come down even during the COVID. How we do it? We try to provide the kind of Uber FPT, Uber job inside FPT. People can work from home. If you want work more, they can take the FPT projects. And we also care about in Vietnam, the house is a tough interest of everybody. To have the house, that's critical. And we try to commit, if you are FPT persons, you should have the house and the car. And more than that, just last week, we start new programs. We have FPT Small Academy. That means what? Our children should learn from the influential people, from the best in the areas, about cooking, about learning, about art, about history, about things, to develop our kids to be success in future. That's the way we keep. And that's the way our people continue to grow in terms of personal development and in terms of professional. Last point I mentioned is about how we accompany the future with the commitments. I reveal to you one secret. Many FPT people didn't think this, but this is most important things. 34 years ago, we found FPT from 13 scientists I just mentioned. Actually, they are my classmates in universities, in Soviet Union, actually. We have much longer relationship than as the founder of FPT. And this kind of friendship actually is foundations of FPT. And then we recruit friend of friend, friend of friend, and so on, and we grow. And then we extend that relationship to all the customers. We keep relationship with very first FPT customers. Today, we're still keeping relationship, visit each other, sharing things. And our relationship is not business alone, about the friendships. And that is the reason why we're sensitive to requests of our customers. This is why we're obsessions with customers. Because friend is more important. I tell stories. People mention about that. In 2011, in Japan happened earthquake and tsunami. Every foreigners get out from Japan. Even diplomatic people out. FPT, we stay. All FPT employees stay in Japan. So the reason very simple. We cannot to leave friends in difficult time. And when COVID happened, the first we worry about how to perform our contract on time, on quality. That's first thing we do. And we think about many ways to do this. We invest to infrastructures to let people, and we protect our employees. Get vaccinated first. If someone have problem, should we go to hospital? And it's not about employees only, but also parents. Because we think we are brotherhood. And we did it. And for these years, all the projects we perform on time, on quality. Even a lot got 100 points of customer satisfactions. That is the way we do. And we also invest to the fund to support doctors, support hospital to fight back with the COVID. We set up 100 engineers to set up the digital command centers for District 7 in Ho Chi Minh City in order to get all the data and process real time to try to against the COVID. We think if we act and today you go to Vietnam, you see, this really good. Technology make it. And we also leverage technology for human. During the pandemic, we got understood technology can save the people, can save businesses, can save jobs. And we use our voice bot to talking with millions of infected COVID staying at home in order to define the moment what they should do, and if in the case they should go to the healthcare services in hospital. And we make about 26 million call by caring people. And after that, we think this technology can do to change the way we live. Now we start, this week we start to serve parents of FPT people on home care, home health care. We get IoT data from them. We get AI to analysis what they did, what they eat, how the correct way to provide a better service for them. All the machine do. And a lot, another way, COVID actually helped us to innovate a new way to serve better people, better life. And that is a short, long story, long talk, but very short story for 34 years. But conclusion is one. FPT, from outsourcing company, became the complete IT solution provider now. We can go with you from A to Z. That's first conclusion. Second one, saying uncertainties is only certain there is. It's right. But I would like to add one more. In whatever uncertainties, you should know that FPT always next to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chung Zabing, for your insightful and inspiring sharing. And looking back on FPT's journey, we have come a long way. So now let's look into the future. Let's take a look at our new direction as we ride the digital transformation wave.
ピンさん、どうもありがとうございました。これまでは FPT は長い道のりを歩んでまいりました。ここでデジタル変革の波に乗って、これからの新しい方向性を一緒に見ていきましょう。
Every second, the world is changing. Technology is evolving. Progress is never permanent across every client and industry. FPT software never stands still. We are the IT complete solution provider. We develop technology for humanity. We are now bold, energetic, vivid, extensible to accompany the communities and clients to a future of leadership, innovation, impact, we reinvent and bring our best to life across nations. Across cultures, across communities. Technology for humanity. FPT software. Accompany the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that many of you would agree that COVID-19 has been an epic test for leadership and how to lead your organization towards the right direction, how to capitalize on new opportunities. We would get you covered.
コロナ禍の中でリーダーシップにとって壮大な試練だということを多くの方々が同意してくださると思います。組織を新しい正しい方向を指導するにはどうすればいいなのか、新しい機会を生かすにはどうすればいいなのか、私たちにお任せしてください。では、FPT デジタル
So let's welcome on stage our Chief Advisor on Digital Transformation. He is also the former Chief Information Officer, the man behind many successes of the chemical giant DuPont, Master Phương Trầm.
では FPT デジタル変革事業最高顧問フン・チャン氏をお迎えしましょう。彼は化学大手であるデュポンの元 CIO であり、デュポンで数多くの成功の立役者でもございます。フン・チャン氏、どうぞステージに上がってください。
Mr. Fung Chum, Chief Advisor on Digital Transformation of FPT. For many, the C can be intimidating. But when you truly take the time to understand it, you will learn to appreciate its beauty and wonder. Mr. Fung Chum can be viewed as a sailor who has voyaged through the knowledge sea of digital transformation. With his vast experience in digital transformation, he has delivered innovative solutions and helped accelerate the digital journey of many corporations. As the former CIO at DuPont, he has helped the company to sail and expand their business across 28 countries while revolutionizing their business strategy and operations. He is a digital transformation expert with decades of frontline experience as the advisor who has helped FPT become a world-class innovative conglomerate.
So please welcome on stage our Chief Advisor on Digital Transformation, Master Phương Trầm.
皆さ
Good
ん、
morning. Thank you, Dr. Bing. You reminded me more than 10 years ago when FPT, working with my team to deliver the first cloud major system from Microsoft around the world. More than 10 years ago. It wasn't called Microsoft 365 at the time. Together, FPT and DuPont actually changed the name into Microsoft 365. So I think FPT, as a corporation, is more than ready to take you to help us together to make the next journey for complete digital transformation. Every single business is a digital business. That's inevitable. So over the next 10, 15 minutes, I'm going to walk you through I'm too fast for it. Technology in business trends. I work to the role of leadership, the characteristic of leadership required to lead your organization, to lead your IT, to help your business success. What are the transformation required? And what I call the IT eco partners, because nobody can have all the knowledge in the world. To be successful is to pick the right partners. So if I look at that, since you say, know yourself, know your enemy, in 100 battles you never lose. I would say slightly different. Know yourself, know your customers, know your enemy, and then pick the right partner. Because together we can win. The partner doesn't have to be an IT partner. They're business partners. That's part of the echo. I like music, so I normally quote the music. But in here, there are two things I like to use to reflect the core of each corporation. The first thing is about you and me. And I like the word. Almost every on your feet to help your company. When you have a strong foundation, when you have the agility, keep yourself busy, making things happen. I'm going to talk about the business trend and the mega trend. And we all read that. So I'm not going to take you through all of this. But the key thing is we live in a circular economy in which waste, pollution, things that need to be reserved or need to be reduced. We need to regenerate the natural system, and we keep the product and material in use or just changing use. And that applies to almost everything in the world, that including IT. And so in that context, you and your business will always keep on going. Are your partner ready to go with you? Do you have the right investment to keep your core operating, to keep your foundation 7/24 non-stop? There will be opportunity to deal with the rich, the poor, the have-not. You live in the U.S., the government is now putting a lot of broadband out there for the have-not. The one who in rural, remote country can have access 7/24 at high speed. That's an opportunity. Talk about robot, ML, digitization. How do you balance that in which the human resource? How do you repurpose the IT organization, the users with new technology? How do you actually, most important, competency, we have a lot of skill, I'm going to say. Getting the right competency at the right time in a digital world is probably one of the most difficult thing that we have. And on most companies, and I love to hear that from FPT, because there's a higher purpose than just making money. That's part of payback to the society. That's by looking after the employees, looking after the orphan from COVID. There are 5 key core technology that already happened for quite some years now, but will continue to be there for quite some time to come. First thing is, I talk really about the digital data platform. People talk about artificial intelligence, analytics. You got to understand what are critical 4 insights for your company. Cybersecurity is protection. Compliance is to make sure you don't get in jail. You have to understand the rule, the local, and make sure your system comply with privacy, GRDP, all of those things. You have to have a flexible environment. That's what I talk about hybrid, talk about smart cloud, and make sure you can be able to operate and optimize across those infrastructure. When you have the core, your core business could be SAP. Your core business could be digital marketing. Your core business could be your manufacturing or logistics supply chain. You have to decide which are the core that you want to modernize. But more importantly, especially with the technology that you see around, you build the innovative layer that link across the core. And then given one thing will never stop. I call it SCSD. Simplification, consolidation, standardization, digitization. all of this happen. And if you do this, you're going to be up there playing with the best of the best. Be a truly world-class company. The future technology, I'm not going to spend time on that because the team, the FPT team, can walk you through to that. You talk about augmented, smart IoT, autonomous decision, secure meta simulation. Microsoft just did it last week, or not even last week, a few weeks ago. The first drone simulation that takes real data from Seattle, fit with a meta world of flying drones, so that you can fly around the building, look at all, and then when you have that capability, you can use drones in a meta world to reflect the real world. Talk about archivers. You see one just right there. I think the speaker next to me will talk a little bit about the FPT Eco platform that open, that be able to bring all of the technology layer. And then on top of that, the work never stops. We talk about quantum computing that make the speed, make real life and virtual life, all of this in the music we call it mashup. Actually much more exciting to do. So what the transformation is all about? There are two kinds of transformation. A company needs both of them to win in the world. You have to decide which part of the work is transformation. This is the abrupt change. There are systems that you may not be able to support anymore. That critical operation, you need to decide, these are the ones I probably need to do a major transformation. That called transformation. But on the other side, you have to be sustainable adaptation, because digital transformation means the solution is going to be given by technology. And technology never stops changing. The question stays the same, the answer changes every 6 months. If you think about that, if you marry between the Kaizen continuous and the digital transformation for disruption, you are now winning. That's the role of the IT leaders. Working cross-function, working with your supply chain, working with your business, working with marketing, working with finance, and together you can make things happen for your company. But it needs to be these IT at the forefront of the table in this digital world. So, you can read about this everywhere. So I'm not going to go through that. But the key thing in here, when I look at that, is really about two things. It's about how do you integrate the technology capability, which is your digital strategy, with the business strategy, because those two are now become inseparable. And the third thing is about, I think Dr. Win said again, it's all about the talent. How to retain, how to acquire, and how to manage. That's a major role of HRD. It's not no longer just HR management. It's really about talent management and people development. So the barriers, we all know about that. I said again, it's all about the talents. It's all about cybersecurity and compliance. The lack of the right competency and the lack of to ensure your core operations are resilient. Because once your core operation is disrupted, your digital transformation program is out of the window. The customer is not going to wait if their business, if their shipping is going to be disrupted. These are the barriers. So we have to be sure what are the core, and I hope we will have more time to dialogue on this subject. So, in that word, what the leadership requirement? We won't talk about the old, I call the old VUCA. Vulnerability, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity. We all feel that. Your IT department feel that. Your business feel that. COVID, uncertainty, complex too. As the leader, we have to change old VUCA to the new VUCA. And the new VUCA is about you give the vision. You give them the understanding. You may not be able to solve it, but they need to understand where are you taking them in this complex world. You need to do that with clarity, and you need to do that with empathy. The world is too small, and people have a lot more things to do than just work. So I'm going to talk next about the 3 C's and the 3 Q's for leadership. It begins with the team. It begins with your team. You have to create a community among your team. Actually, when I travel with Tuấn and Ha around, I love that because every working place of FSOP, FPT is a community. People don't just come to work. People come to relax and to work hard. Community. Because when you have the community, you then can talk about the solution, the service, the contents that you can together work and make it better. And all of that happens if you have what I call the conversation. That's the role of the leadership, to make sure your team is a community, they're working on the right solution, and they converse all the time, whether it's virtually or physically. And you as a leader, I am as a leader, we together have to have 3 C's for ourselves. We need to have a very clarity. We may not be right, but we have to be clear. We need to understand we do not have all the capacity. So who can complement me? And more importantly, people look at you for commitment. That's abundant in Dr. Bing talk earlier. So when you have that, then you think, then you can create a whole organization. Could be your IT organization. Could be your cross-function team. I talk about the IQ, the EQ, and the DQ. IQ is given. We all know that. That's the dependency. That's the analyticness. EQ is more about understanding, about empathy. It's about ability to relate. It's okay to show emotion. And the last one, but actually more important, is diversity. Because diversity together with clarity, with the conversation, bring innovation. That's why we have to work together. Because each one of us is different. You bring a different perspective than I can never have. So the leadership in this world is on about cross-function and cross-level. That's where you bring reality into play. Cross-function, you may have a leadership team, but your leadership team should never lose touch with the people who need to manage day-to-day for you. And they should get the feedback directly from operation who actually receive pains in serving customer and user every day. Digital transformation from a people side is about eliminating pain for the people. Talk about capacity. It's all I call complementary. You pick the partner right, okay, because in the team there will be risk taker, there will be listening, they're decisive. Where are you? When you think EQ, IQ, DQ, plus the whole lot of skill that required for digital transformation, how do you come? Do you have the right team? Do you have the right partner for this next journey? Now, when you start taking your team as a leader, could be a program leader. You could be a program leader. You could be just a team leader of 3 or 4 people working on a project. That's thing for doing. That's why people say, you train years, You plan in months, not in 1 year anymore. You have to plan in months. You evaluate, because things changing. Environment, COVID, things like that, it change in weeks. But you ship and you execute daily. That's the culture we have to create in execution. FPT understand that. You have to, how do you scale very fast in a global world? So when FPT and the team I advise and we work together, always, Tung and I change this all the time. We prototype. When we prototype for you. But when we build it for 10. And when we take it out to engineer it, we take it out at least by 100. That's how we do things very fast and very cheap. It's not just about low cost per user. It's about the scale. And then when you do that, the question from leadership is 2 questions. What's required to cut your timeline in half? And what needs to be done to get your benefit, the impact double? That's the question leadership has. And then 3 things for any project, for any program, for any digital or even IT transformation or IT upgrading. It's only 3 things that you need to be able to explain to yourself first before you explain to your boss or your team. Why is this important to me? Why is it important to the company? Why we can do it? Who the partner to help us do it? And then why we must do it now? We need those 3 things to get a project really successful. And then, when you plan for it, like everybody, you always hope for the best, because the best give you excitement opportunity, but you choose the most likely to execute. But background, you have quite a few members prepare for the worst. COVID is a case in example. Hope for the best, but execute the most likely, and have a few indicators to know when the worst might be coming, so we may have to change our course. Now, I talk about an eco-environment. Before you pick a partner, you need to understand where you are in your journey. And you could be all over the place, and that's very normal. This is not a sequential thing to do. This is a parallel thing. Some of us may just replace it, our modern legacy system. Some of us may deploy IT, innovative to a certain area that need that. Some of us may need to help our CFO to re-engineering their finance process, digitize their thing. So how do we do? Some of us have the task to make sure IT is a world-class performer. So understand of that. But in the future, in the very near future, I'm talking about months and years, and it's already happened. It's really about co-creation. And I think the next speaker after me will talk a little bit about that. How do you build an eco place? An ecosystem can have a digital data platform, can have a very modern core section. A lot of that is ERP, a lot of that is supply chain. Got to have a digital workflow to direct work and to get data. Got to have a very agile IT environment. Your core, you don't have to change it often, but your innovative layer has to be, otherwise the user will hate you forever. And then flexible cloud infrastructure. And with that, a company like FPT can actually provide you a wide range, and that's part, I like the theme today. I think the organizer of the team doing a great job. This is about a journey to a complete solution and a partnership, whether it's IT staff augmentation, whether it's just traditional outsourcing, whether it's managed service, and I think you've seen of that, whether it's just expert consultancy, and then a complete end-to-end solution provider. And I think today is part of the whole environment. Let me summarize. Every business is a disrupted digital business. The roles of leadership is to provide vision, clarity, understanding, and commitment to lead your team and to work cross-function, with your finance, with your manufacturing, with your supply chain, and along with the right partner. And I wish you success, and then hope we have more time to dialogue deeper in each of these subjects in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your speech, Mr. Phương Trầm. And up next, ladies and gentlemen, intrapreneurship or entrepreneurship within corporates has gained strong attention from global IT giants. And coming up next, FPT Software Chief Operating Officer Trần Đăng Hoa will share how we are embracing this trend and leveraging technology innovations to develop a startup product ecosystem of our own.
最近、社内ベンチャーやスタートアップは政界の IT 大企業から強い関心を務めております。次は FPT ソフトウェアの最高執行責任者チャン・ダンファよりこのトレンドをどのように取り込みテクノロジーイノベーションを活用して独自なスタートアップ製品エコシステムを開発しているなのかというテーマをご紹介いただきます。
Mr. Chung Dan-hwa, Chief Operations Officer, FPT Software. There is no wave small enough to ignore, no wave big enough to back down. And Mr. Chung Dan-hwa, with his 11 years of experience, understands this the most, that there is no obstacle big enough, no challenge difficult enough to stop us from reaching our goal. Serving as the Chief Operations Officer of FPT Software, he both has the vision and the attention to details to set up and develop operation centers in new markets to build Vietnam as a digital nation, a prime location for certified IT manpower. Mr. Chun Dang-hwa, Chief Operations Officer, FPT Software.
Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have the great time so far. And as a member of the organizer, I would like to thank you for coming and give our apologize if we have any inconvenience. We have ever organized such a big event for last 3 years since COVID comes. And actually, Hanoi welcome you in the 2 big rains yesterday and the day before, and it helped you to reduce the hot. But about that, in Vietnam, when rain is coming, it means the lucky coming. So thank you again for bringing luck to FPTs and all of you. Yeah, so we just listened to the insightful guidelines, vision from Dr. Trần Gia Binh and our chairman, Phương Trầm. And we, as the doer, I would like to implement this as, yeah, if Dr. Binh say 10, I should deliver 7, 8, or if I will be in trouble. So, yes, FPT, we're growing 30-40% every year for many years. And every year we recruit 7,000 to 8,000 people. And this is how we grow. But we realize that yeah, we cannot grow as same as we grow our talents. So we start to think something that can increase our productivity, our efficiency, and even the new value does not consume a lot of talented people. So that's how our product and startup is gone. So nowadays there are more than 20, 30 product initiative. You just experience our Akaverse a little bit. And I would so would like to introduce you to test one of another ones. It's very proud for us. It's Akabot. I would like when I come to help me. Is Akabot is one of our 15 RPA platform around the world, and it's help our people, our client to transform the boring. Actually, I can say boring. Accounting, IT help desk. And yeah, I let Baring talk, and I will do as a accountant, right?
Yep. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Karen from AKBot team, and yeah, today let's pretend me and Anh Hoa will be the accountant of a retail company, and we order the goods from 1,000 vendor every day, and we need to process payment for the vendor. So, as an accountant, I need to input the invoice from the vendor to our accounting system to make the payment for the vendor. But I will not do that task. I will have an assistant to do it for me. So I have a keyboard here, and I will chat with her so that her can help me to do it. Okay. So now you can say hi. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now I will tell the board to process a payment for me, and then I will send an invoice. Okay, so the invoice here, and the bot will help me to process the invoice. So all the information on the invoice will be extracted with our intelligent document processing technology. And then our AQ board will print all the information and go to the accounting system to process the next step. Please wait a minute. Yep, you can see it will open the accounting system, and it's go to the invoicing function, and it's search for the PO, and it fill other information of the invoice. It change the number, the quantity of the material. And then the payment will be created. And then the bot will copy the bill number and send back to me via chatbot. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, it's very short demo about how we transform our accounting industry in Vietnam and in all the world. And so let's come back to our main part. So how we structure and how organize the startup and new business in FPT. So first of all, please move. I can say that we are not pioneer. It's happened all over the world. All the big company like Facebook, Google, and so on. We have then all incubation team. They have inside team to incubate, and there is a new idea. A lot of great product is not built, not born from the first day of company born, but from the incubate inside the company. Next, please. Next, please. And we can say that we also have the chance to do the same thing. And I can say that it's only one-time chance. And I think there are 4 reasons. I believe we believe on that. Number one, we say that Vietnam 10-4. So Vietnam, our GDP around 3,000-4,000 per year average, and no doubt that we will follow Japan, Korea, China. Our average GDP will go up to 30,000-40,000 per year. So it means that in general we have 10-fold time, and especially when we achieve the certain level of GDP, another new business, new thing will come, like loyalties, insurance, healthcare for the senior, and so on. So at that time, we have more than 100 and 1,000 times to grow. So the earlier FPT invest on this, the more chance we have. And the second one, we say that we're proud that we have the huge pool of software engineering. We have 20,000 engineers in FPT software, 40,000 for the whole FPT group, and plus 60,000 students study IT in FPT University and our FPT Polytechnic. So with that resource, any idea we can do quicker than our competitor, and we can make it happen soon. And number 3 is very important. We leverage our FPT ecosystem. We can say that FPT product and service can touch half of Vietnam population. We have 2 million households for internet, another 2 million households for FPT pay TV, internet TV. We have 40 million subscribers viewing VN Expert portal every day. We have FPT shop, pharmacy shop all about Vietnam, all across Vietnam. So we everywhere. And almost all of our government service is built by FPT engineering. So anything we introduce, we have chance to touch the whole Vietnam market. It's a very another good chance for FPT. And last one is very important, and also is our invitation for youth is co-creation for global business. We believe that all of you have want to expand the business globally, and Vietnam. We believe that we are a typical country like in Asia and South Asia. So if we succeed in Vietnam, we can expand to South Asia and Asia. So I would like to invite you to co-invest, co-join the new idea, new initiative, and we first test the Vietnam markets and then expand to the whole. And what we do, we not do something change the world. We leverage our ecosystem, the core ecosystem. So we do something, innovate something in between. So we leverage our FPT ecosystem, we leverage our people, our customer base, plus new technology outside, our partner outside. And we do innovate in between. And this is how FPT new product, new startup is come from. And here's a very quick process of how we generate the new idea. We call this 0 to 1, 1 to 10, 10 to 100. So we have 4 stages of our startup and product. The first phase is very easy, idea. So idea come from everybody in our company, and even from the top down. So we let our people to try the idea. Actually, Aquabot is one of our typical case of this one. And even we let several teams to do the same things, and wait until someone success and beat another team. So we let them to move to next phase. So after idea was approved, we have the customer, and we validate it by expand to another customer. We ask our customer to validate it, test the market, and do market fit. And when we have 10, more than 10, the company start to invest, to put effort money to this team and let them grow by expand the customer, expand the market, and continue to do R&D. So I myself review with Akabot every week, every by week, and a lot of future list is putting is to this yearly, daily. And finally, after we believe that we can success, we say that graduate, I can say it's graduate, but we let them do independent. If they were something that can connect to FPT, can extend our ecosystem, we do it as an independent P&L in FPT. And if they are independent and separate, we can spin off. And we also ask and invite our partner, our customer, to co-join, to invest, to expand that business. And most important that our team only focus on idea, on product only. The rest FPT will do. We saw that accelerator mechanism. We have the team to help them to do infrastructure, do the finance control, we put them advisor, we do marketing for them, we help them developer, give them COE, everything. It's how we grow. And here I can say some our achievements so far. We have several categories about operation optimization is our F-Shop core product. You have the Akasu that you have familiar. We also have built the acceleration for the share platform. We have the platform for AI, called FPT AI. We have platform for small and medium ERP company. We call base, and Akabot is our total platform for automation. And last one, we just have the H-Tech, like Dr. Bing just said with you, that we have H-Tech for education, H-Tech for fintech, H-Tech for blockchain, H-Tech for loyalty, and so on. So it's how the new business will come and will be take the important part in the Vietnam and the world economy in the future. So only one thing about our concept of our building process, we call the AKA. It's actually is born from Japan. In Japan, we have the Aka-chan, it's a baby. So everything we build, we believe that we start from humble, we are from small, but very important that the baby can grow. So please accept our limitation, but in the future they go, and it's fresh and it's adaptive. So that's how our product grow. So like Akabot is the first customer, first customer is very, very crucial, important for us. But one you accept, one you support, you can go like now. So please support another area, Akaverse, Akamas, Akamai, and so on. We have many, but we commit to grow and commit to be meet your expectation in the future. So yeah, I'm this we are do digital in action. So this time, this event, I want to introduce you as much as possible the demo. In the beginning, we have the virtual MC. In the evening, we have something surprising. So please wait until this. And finally, I have one last demo, just short video about our new baby metaverse. That's Dr. Ben just said. We will build something that in the future is going to be the core business and core. If we invest, we're betting on this. Music, I think we have no music. So it is the metaverse we first build for the artists. So you have the real singer on this. On the downside, we have the booth that you can send and scan you in 3D. And all of them we can convert into the avatar and we bring you to here. From here, we can talk each other. We can listen to the real singer performance. And we can chat each other. And we also invite some brand to come to advertise something happened with the voice. But I'm sorry for that because we are just baby. So please accept for apologize, and I guarantee we will have the voice in another day. Okay, thank you very much, and hope you have the.
Thank you very much for your speech, Mr. Trần Đăng Hòa. And up next is our video of the resource development of FPT.
ハさん、どうもありがとうございました。それでは、企業の発展における最も重要であるリソース開発についてビデオを映したいと思います。どうぞご覧になってください。
Tương lai của một doanh nghiệp được quyết định bởi chất lượng vận hành, từ đó mở khóa những cơ hội mới.
Tương lai bắt đầu từ cơ hội làm việc, học tập và trải nghiệm.
Tương lai của tôi đến từ điểm tựa vững chắc nhất, gia đình.
Tương lai bắt đầu từ phát triển bền vững và tôn trọng những giá trị cộng đồng.
FPT Software with breakthrough technologies. We offer technology solutions that provide quick wins, long-term impacts, and cost efficiency. FPT Software has proved that technology advancement is easy to obtain for any business at any scale in any industry. Present in 26 countries with 7 campuses and research centers in Vietnam. $23,000 employees across the world. Share one heartbeat, share one spirit, firmly hold on to one purpose. FPT Software will transmit more energy and vitality to its customers, partners, and communities through world-class products and services. Each solution is born carrying the core values of innovation, agility, one team, respect, and commitment. Being ourselves together, we create a miracle. With the philosophy of putting people at the center, FPT Software strives to provide a dynamic working environment for our employees. At FPT Software, you'll never walk alone. Together we build strength. Explore career and study opportunities around the globe with us. FPT Software is always making continuous efforts to realize the mission of devoting our intelligence to creating a better life. We believe in the value of sustainable development.
Sau hơn 20 năm vươn mình ra biển lớn, thành công mang trí tuệ Việt Nam ra thế giới, FPT Software vẫn luôn nỗ lực không ngừng để hiện thực hóa tầm nhìn, trở thành công ty tỷ đô world class và nằm trong top 50 công ty dịch vụ công nghệ thông tin toàn cầu vào năm 2030. Tương lai bắt đầu từ thời khắc chúng ta chung vai ngày hôm nay, cùng nhau mang đến những giải pháp công nghệ phục vụ cho cuộc sống, tạo dựng môi trường làm việc hạnh phúc và đóng góp những giá trị bền vững cho cộng đồng.
FPT Software, accompany the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, to stay on top of your game, any global organization must rely on a solid workforce worldwide, leverage their diversity and local expertise. However, geographically dispersed teams can face stiff challenges, and in the upcoming panel discussion, we will have leaders from Unified Post, Standard Chartered, Accenture Japan, and Cox Automotive share insights into how they manage their global team.
グローバル企業が常にトップを走り続けるためには、世界中の優秀な人材に頼り、その多能性と地域の専門性を活用しなければなりません。しかし、チームが地理的に分散していると、厳しい課題に直結することもございます。次のパネルディスカッションでは、ユニファイポスト、スタンダードチャーター、アクセンチャージャパン、コックスオートモティブの各社のリーダーからグローバルチームをどのように管理しているかどうかっていうのをお話をいただけます。
So please welcome Mr. Albert Smets, Chief Technology Officer, Unified Post. Please welcome on stage. Mr. Thorsten Newman, Chief Technology Officer, Standard Chartered Ventures. Mr. Masakatsu Mori, former chairman, Accenture Japan. Mr. Scott Liniando, Vice President of Product and Engineering, Cox Automotive. And our moderator today, Mr. Anlin Joseph, Chief Revenue Officer at FPT USA Corporation. And Mr. Anlin Joseph, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon. We know that we are standing between you and the lunch, so we'll try to catch up quickly. First of all, thank you, our distinguished guests and our customers, partners, and friends. We exist because you exist and you are there to be with us and support us. So thank you so much, and thanks for taking time and effort. So we have an interesting topic today. We're going to talk about how are we going to create a high-performance team that is geographically dispersed. I think in December 2020, Uber came up with a very interesting report. Uber Eats put together a 3-year plan, and they are surprised they are able to achieve that in 6 months once pandemic hit. So I think pandemic has changed how we eat, how we buy groceries, and most importantly, how we work. So with that, I think we're gonna discuss today about how you see that your companies are evolving and supporting this whole new normal of working remote. I think let me start with you, Scott. I think remote working is not new. It's been around for decades. And the pandemic has only taught us that even functions like sales that is known for personal touch and relationship, we are able to get one of the largest customer during the pandemic over Zoom and Teams calls. So that's surprising. But with all of that, it created a borderless workforce, especially in the technology industry. So what are the challenges and opportunities that you see?
Cox Automotive, the big thing we try to do is bring culture and family across all of our teams. So bringing on so many people in such a short amount of time during the pandemic required a global approach. We couldn't do it all in the United States. Hiring 1,000 people in the United States would take years and years. But instead, my team in particular, I have people all over the world, in America, in Europe, in India, in Vietnam, in the Philippines, all working together. And instead of looking at some of these things I'm going to mention as challenges, think of them as opportunities. The time zones, we can get more done in half the time because we're working across the globe. The cultures across the globe bringing additional innovation and ideas. At Cox, even in the US, we know having the same people with the same ideas and the same approach isn't going to bring the best technology to the market. So really leveraging that is going to allow us to be more successful in the market. And by embracing that, embracing the cultures, embracing the different people, we're really able to, bring this global approach with no borders between the teams. So I have people that are coming together every day from every part of the world, building one product together, and it's just been very successful, even though they've never met each other. I will add, though, with COVID coming to a close here, I know it'll always be with us, but it makes more difference in the world than I can tell you to be together, to have meals together, to celebrate together. And we've seen just in the 2 weeks I've been here, the productivity is going to go way up beyond the levels that we saw with COVID and only being virtual. So I would just encourage that as well, and make sure that you don't lose that personal connection and friendship, because it is the most important way to have successful business together.
Thank you, Scott, for that insightful response. I'm going to move to Albert. So before COVID, I think when we talk about workforce and culture, we were talking about how do we create a cohesive team between baby boomers, millennials, Gen Y and Gen Z, because of the age difference and the way they bring different perspectives to work. I think post-pandemic, it introduced a net new complexity into all of this, where the team is geographically diverse, culturally diverse, and the brought-up is diverse, the education is very different, and there are language barriers as well. So with these challenges, how at Unified Post and in the industry that you're seeing, we are able to create a cohesive team and collaborative team. And because people say, culture eat strategy for breakfast. So with people not being in the same place, how do we create a culture with everybody working from different parts of the world?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the first answer is empower the people, but let me say, COVID changed a lot, of course, in the world, and especially for the software delivery people. If you just take a look at the people that are working with software, then it was originally working from home, remotely working, and then at the end they said, instead of one day working at home, they want to work only maximum one day at the office. So that's really what's going to change. And what you see right now in Europe is that people, my developers, go to Southern Europe and they say, I'm going to work there on the beach, to go to the beach in Spain, France, etc. Really. And they're going to work from 7 in the morning until 3 p.m. And they're going to say, yeah, and afterwards, I'm going to party. I'm going to enjoy beach life. So that's really important. So right now, it's not about measuring, let me say, the time registration, but it's more about measuring the output from the teams. So now how do we do that? We need to convert our vision and business, to convert it in really deliverables that we can have relevant metrics. That's most important. Furthermore, it's very difficult right now in Europe and other parts of the world to get really people in. So what you see, for example, that in Europe, we don't have a population pyramid. We have a population bowl. We have more older people than young people, not compared to in Vietnam. And it's really challenging for us. Right now, we even have in the Netherlands companies that invite the managers and directors to stand in line to get an interview from a guy that's searching for a job. It's the other way around. So you cannot believe how that's right away. So, but also Germany is doing it really great. You know why? Because the universities, those are free in Germany. And especially also for the foreign talented people, they can come over. But if you, for example, look at the Netherlands, we have to pay 12,000 euro a year if you are a talented foreign person. So Germany is doing really great in that. And right now we should think as a company more that, okay, what can we really do for the person instead of vice versa? But finally, how to go for the win-win situation is very easy. We have to define deliverables, very good with metrics, and we have to challenge the people, because they don't only have let me say, a good job with a good salary and everything on it, but they want to be challenged. They want to work on the solution approach, on the design, etc. That is very important. So, and that's only one solution for that. Empower the people.
Thank you, Albert, for that. I think it's a very people-centric approach to creating teams. And Thorsten, you know, we have a recent McKinsey report that says 52% of the workforce wants some kind of a flexible working model. And in the US, we have seen where, you know, companies mandate people to come in person. They have seen attrition. And a new cool term that's evolving is presence for purpose. So if you want to be in the office, give me a purpose for that day, for an occasion. So with all of this, what are some of the strategies that you see that works well, bringing people together?
Yeah. So thanks for being here. And to share a bit on strategy really is, I guess, an organizational change. Right? So really speaking on behalf of Standard Chartered, but also Standard Chartered Ventures, the first thing is that the organization has to embrace the new ways of working. You know, we see different parts of the world wanting to relapse perhaps to more in-office policies. In our case, what the bank did very early on is accept that this is going to be here and going to be here for a long time. So the first reaction was COVID is going to be a long-term kind of consequence. How do we prepare ourselves to live with that? Interestingly, the bank turned around and said, we will give everybody the option to work remote. You simply indicate how many days you want to commit to working remotely. Nowadays, what we see 2 years into the program is property and HR looking at the stats and saying how many people are actually going to the buildings and how many people are working remote. And are those two matching up? Don't overcommit, don't underdeliver. We've given up property, right? So we've created less real estate. We've effectively changed the way we use the business premises in order to encourage people to work remote. We've done partnerships with Regis, where any Standard Chartered employee can go to any Regis office in the world and just work remotely. You have to think about it this way, right? Standard Chartered operates in 59 countries. So we're already global, we're already culturally diverse, but remote working is another level altogether. We've got to invest in people. So to the earlier points, beyond the technology skills, right? We have to help people develop EQ. We have to, you know, trust them to deliver the work. We have to be more outcomes orientated as opposed to micromanaging. And that again goes back to the organizational change where we need to literally bring the entire bank along the journey, get everybody to understand these new ways of working. And for an IT organization of 17,000 people in the bank, supporting our 95,000 employees, you know, we have to create these options because it's the only way to work, it's the only way to become more efficient, as was mentioned.
Thank you for sharing that. And Maurice-san, let's go to the future. I think the pandemic and the new normal of remote working is here to stay. It's not going to go away. So we all learn to, you know, as Dr. Bing said, business and COVID learn to coexist. So in this new model, we are talking about, you know, enabling remote work, etc., mostly for office workers. But there is another set of, you know, employees out there who work in shop floor, etc. So in your view, how is this new normal is going to evolve in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, xin chào to everybody. And come on to Chairman Bing and all FPT people. This is a great event. I love Vietnam. I love FPT. With that, I want to make little comments about strategy and people. I cannot talk about the current, you know, going on today much, but, you know, think about, there's 2 boxes. Okay, here's a strategy, and here's the people. And there's 2 ways. One way is strategy should drive people. Okay? That means if you want to build global company, you have to hire very best people. Every country you want to go, every country you want to grow, says the best people. Okay? Then develop key core business leaders, and then organize. So the business strategy should drive people strategy, and that's one way, right? Second way, the people enable strategy. That is, people not only enable to execute strategy, but also expand your business in a new area. So that's a link, right? So I can tell you, for example, at Accenture, okay, the computer programming was mandatory education program for everybody 16 years ago, okay? Then Accenture developed huge IT resources, basically people, and transformed the business from system integration to business integration, then outsourcing. Now, Accenture, when I joined Accenture, total employee was only 2,000 worldwide. Now, 700,000 people. Market cap, it's up and down today's market, but 200 billion US dollars. Very successful. Key was really people. So I challenge Mr. Bean. I think 3,000 people today, your size, I'd say 10x within 7 years. FPT has strong IT capability, IT engineers. By using those IT capability, you can expand your business into many areas, right? And here, Vietnam is a hub of Asia. Asia is the center of growth in the world economy. Why not? You can, I don't say easily, but I think it is reasonable to set a goal like 300,000 employees within 7 years. So I really encourage you. And I'm happy to be the part of that program, right? In conclusion, I think geographically diverse employees have to align with strategy by sharing purpose, vision, and goals. In addition, high-performance company, highly performing company, build strong corporate culture that go beyond individual countries' culture. This is very important. Don't compromise too much, okay? I think you have a good discipline. I hear from Mr. Bean and others' presentation. I think you can make it. So I cannot talk about COVID. Sorry about that. But this is my comments.
That's great vision for us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for setting a new goal for us. That's fantastic. That's energizing. Thank you. So I think with that, let's conclude the panel. Thank you all for participating. The new normal is here to stay, and we'll see how it evolves. And probably next year, if we gather together, we can come back and check and how strategies are evolving. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you so much to all the panelists for this first panel discussion.
スピーカーの皆様、どうもありがとうございました。 そして皆さんご清聴いただきましてありがとうございます。
And now comes the second panel discussion of today, and the topic of the second discussion is the ideal operating model for digital delivery.
そして次のディスカッションのテーマとしては DEX オペレーションモデルにつきましてお話をさせていただきたいと思います。
And please welcome to the stage our moderator for the second panel discussion, Mr. Frank Vinon, FPT Software Global Head of Digital Transformation.
モデレーターの方はフランクテオ DEX グローバルダイレクターからリードをさせていただきます。どうぞご覧になってください。
And let's welcome on stage our speakers, Mr. Takeshi Oga, Managing Executive Officer, SAP. Mr. Han Bun-seo, Chief Intelligence Officer, Schaeffler APAC. Mr. Mark Dalberg, Director of Service Systems, Sysmex. Mr. Hiroyuki Koyama, Vice President, Chief Digital Officer, Toshiba Tech Corporation. And our moderator, Frank, the floor is yours.
Please, let's sit. Thank you very much, and thank you to still stay here. I see that everybody starts to be hungry, so we'll be very effective here. And I'm very happy to have all those gentlemen here to discuss with you on how digital transformation is important for your company. Many companies today are failing into this transformation. We know it's difficult. How to leverage new technology, what are the new operating model, the new way they are doing it that are making them successful, and how they are applying this transformation and those technology to support their business. And I would like to start first with you, Mark, looking on this new emerging technology that we are seeing coming through the COVID also, the working from home, all those kind of new tech, how you are leveraging this into your organization, and how you are making a successful use of those new emerging technology.
Sure. Thank you, Frank. So let me tell you just a brief story of our digital transformation, and maybe I can answer the question that way. I work for Sysmex. We sell IVD equipment, hematology analyzers, primarily in the United States. And we have to service those. And one of our big challenges was to service across the great geography of the United States. And we did not have enough service engineers. So 10 years ago, they asked us to start digital transformation with regard to service and provide tools to remotely connect to the instruments and service, monitor, configure, troubleshoot those instruments remotely. And so we built these tools over a number of years. They also asked us to train remotely. And so we built several TV studios so we could stream to our customers. And we had some early success with that. But I have to say that the customers weren't ready for that change. And even though we built great tools and technologies, it wasn't until the winds of change that Mr. Tram mentioned in the Bob Dylan song, COVID was that change. And all of a sudden, the labs didn't want our engineers to come because of COVID. We couldn't travel. And so that investment we made in digitization of our tools paid great dividends. We were ready for that change. And we were able to train our customers remotely. We were able to troubleshoot our instruments remotely. And that success drove even more demand. And that demand now we meet with the partnership with FPT and a virtual workforce. We used to require all IT people to come into the office. And we would only hire people, we're near Chicago, only in Chicago. Those days are over now with COVID. We're borderless in our hiring. It's a great opportunity. We can expand our pool of expertise and hire actually better, more trained people. And again, we need the partnership now because the demands have grown even more for us. And the partnership with FPT provides expertise and the ability to scale into this digital world.
Thank you very much, and very insightful and very nice the vision that you have 10 years ago that helped you, in fact, during the COVID time to be very resilient and to be able to serve your customer into this difficult time. So it was a
a very nice strategy that you have to move on the transformation quite early on, even if at the beginning people did not see maybe the benefit, and now they're seeing it, and you are using FPT to scale up and go faster. And this is a good example on transformation has a lot of, I would say, difficulties sometimes, roadblocks on how to implement it, how to move forward, how to link the business with the technology and the people. And I would like to hear about you, Takeshi-san, some of the experience that you have with that respect, and how you can share your view.
Yes, thank you, Frank. So we see the big trends of the new digital technologies like AI, or blockchain, or like metaverse. These are really great, but I think that we definitely these are just enablers, right? So even like SAP S/4HANA, it's an enabler. So we definitely need a transformation capability. That will be the key. So how you can transform your organization or how you can transform yourself, that will be the key. So if you have such a transformation capability with your organization, so please remember 3 P's. One is people, and the second is a process, and lastly, that's a process. So as for the people, so we need to develop the people who has the data transformation skill sets and mindsets. Also, for the top management, we need to have the data-driven decision-making culture. So that's one. And as for the second, the process, that if when you start a new, something new, you need to have the new process. That current organization is really optimized to sustain the current business. So if you want to change something, of course, you need something new process. So that is also important. And lastly, the place. That means it's a kind of the test bed, or you need to have the place you can challenge something new. Yes. So I think these 3 P's, people, process, and place, that will be the important. Yes.
Oh, thank you. Very insightful. Especially the place things is quite interesting. And it brings me to the question on when we want to execute a transformation, we need to look at process, as you're mentioning, but framework, methodologies on how to be able to scale up from the ideas to the POC, to the MVP, to the product, and so on. And I know, Boone, that you did quite a lot of things in the region, so really I would like to to hear from you about your experience.
Sure. I think the first thing, especially during this pandemic, we basically have 3 levels of rules when you talk about methodologies. The first one is that always get our infrastructure and our digital solutions right. And one thing is that also up to now, we are always exploring new digital solutions and platform just to make sure that we are up to date. So for example, today it's already 3 years I have not been to Hanoi to FPTs, but Dr. Beans and his team never fail us to always have new digital platforms. So I think that is basically the first level as a CIO. How do I actually update on these digital platforms and translate back to my customers, internal customers and external customers? And second level right now is that in terms of just now you talk about idealizations, the important is that Schaeffler is a technology company, and we believe every crisis comes with an opportunities. What we've done is that while during a crisis where companies are slowing down, Schaeffler are pushing hard. So for example, in Singapore, I'll give you an example, we have a $22 million investments with the universities for digital research. So that's where we want to push the unique selling point, where we want to have more digital technologies for our future. The last one is that always we need to find the right partners. So FPT is not a vendor. FPT is basically a friend and basically the preferred partners. And how do we actually bring then our technologies to work with FPTs? Because we don't believe that Schaeffler are able to do everything alone. So we need partners, and that is how we, from idealizations, we have very advanced technologies, and then how do we work with FPTs to grow partners like this? Yeah.
No, thank you very much. And FPT will always follow you and always be your partner to go even further into your transformation, innovation, and so on, which brings me to the innovation. So with new technologies, new digital transformation, people are looking not only at transforming their business, but also are looking at new opportunity, new business opportunity, what they can achieve, and also at this digital innovation. Can you share a little bit some thought of that, Hiroyuki-san?
Yes. Hiroyuki Koyama. Okay, thank you. And today I have some keywords, and one is the DX, and digital enterprise, and co-create, and life satisfaction. At first, what's DX? I think that we need to change the corporate culture, and the culture to create new value in our life, and at the same time, create an environment where PDCA can be properly followed. To that end, what should we do? And everyone knows data plays a major role in the digital enterprise. As market change accelerates, it's necessary to become a data-driven company and use this data to make a business decision on new issues. In addition, it's important to share data within the market or between players involved in service provision and to create an ecosystem and co-create environment based on this. And I think that the co-creation is very important. The key to successful co-creation consists of three elements, I think. And one is common encoding, the second is sharing context, the final is sympathy. And next, I talk about concept verification in the place of co-creation. We sometimes do POC for technical verification purposes, but it's important to verify the concept of the service to realize the business. I think it's important to consider what kind of data should be processed and how to utilize it in the service by linking it from the viewpoint of business and service and the business process and the interface and the implementation technologies. And employee satisfaction through work style reforms, and customer satisfaction and social satisfaction, such as carbon neutrality. I think we can improve our life satisfaction by obtaining these satisfactions. And finally, I think you all, and me too, yes, know that you have to change, we have to change. But it doesn't change easily. It doesn't change easily. It's difficult to make change within your company, your own company. But I think it's possible to make a change with the partners who realize the change of the customers. And I am looking forward to seeing you as a co-creation site in the future and leading the ship with everyone who is gathering today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this insight. And if I'm trying to summarize a little bit what we have heard today from all the participants, I see some keywords. So vision, to have very early vision, what you want to execute, even if people may challenge you. Why do you need this? I heard also that transformation is painful, and it has to be painful, otherwise you are not transforming. You are just doing the classic things that you're doing. And also data-driven, really how to leverage all your assets that you have in the company to become these full data-driven companies, and having clear process in place. The place is important, so to give an environment for the people so they can think out of the box and also challenge what you are doing in your company so they can also have this transformation. And what you are saying, to have at the end of the day that people, they see the benefit for themselves, for the society, for as a people, as an individual, and they can embrace the change and then support the change inside your company and push forward. And also looking at partner ecosystem, where FPT is playing a key role with you. We are supporting you, we are supporting other companies worldwide, setting up new ways of working and new ways of engaging you. And thank you again for your insight today. I hope it was interesting for all of you here. And don't hesitate, we are here today, we are here in the gala. If you want to discuss with us, just come to us and we'll be very happy to discuss about digital transformation. I think we are all geek in our heart about that and we look at that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Frank and all our panelists.
スピーカーの皆様、どうもありがとうございました。そしてご清聴いただきましてありがとうございます。
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now 12:30, and all we want to say is thank you so much for still being here and stay with us. And we hope that you have many important takeaways this morning. But don't forget that we have one more event, the gala dinner tonight.
皆さん、長い時間本当に最後まで積極的にご参加いただきまして心よりお礼を申し上げます。
On behalf of the FPT organizers, thank you so much for coming, for staying, and we'll see you again tonight.
どうもありがとうございました。
Goodbye.